This was an insane haul. Before we get too far into this video, I want to talk about the Popsies that I picked up real quick. So I did pick up two of the Popsies that I was wanting. These are probably the only two Popsies that I'm going to pick up, if I'm being completely honest with you, because I want to explain these things are not a collectible. These are a greeting card. There's a lot of people out there that do, however, collect greeting cards, but they are not going to go up in value anytime soon. They have SKUs for these with a permanent location. They're just going to continuously restock these just like you would any other greeting card forever. So they're never, ever going to go up in value, right? Think about it. There's going to be a lot of these out there, and a lot of people are going to have them, which is going to make them very, 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 very uncollectible. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick before we get this unboxing started. And check this out. I know that there's a lot of you right now that simply do not agree with that last statement that I made, that the Popsies are not a collectible. But I want you to hear me out on this one. I want you just to listen to me. Let's play a supply and demand game. So when it comes to collectibles, what makes things collectible is the supply and demand. When the demand for something is really high, but the supply is really low, then that makes collectors like myself go after them, just like the 5,000 piece Biggie Smalls. Now we know that GameStop. We know that Funko played a trick on us not too long ago, and this was not actually a 5,000 piece run. You could buy it over in Europe. It was unlimited. You could go to Aussie Man Collectibles right now. I'm not affiliated, however, I should be. Maybe that's something that I should check on. Go check them out. You can order this guy right now from Europe. He is not a limited run. They kind of got us on that one. That goes to that whole, like, you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is one of those shame on me moments, but definitely that's what makes something a collectible, is the supply and demand, right? So when the demand is high and the supply is low, that's what causes collectors like myself to go after things. That's also what causes them to go up in value, right? Is the supply is low, the demand is high. The supply of these is going to be really high because it has a permanent fixed SKU. And what I mean is, it actually has a label on the shelf that says Joker. It actually has a label on the shelf that says Batman. So that means that they're going to keep restocking that spot of the shelf with this particular item, just like any other greeting card. And that's okay. If you're into collecting greeting cards, look, I 100% believe that you should collect whatever you want to collect, but I don't call these collectibles because they're going to keep producing them forever and ever and ever, and which is going to keep the value of them way down, probably even below retail, right? I mean, so that's just something to keep in mind when you're picking these up. When you pick these up, you should honestly be picking these up because you're collecting them and you're not trying to make a profit, right? And I believe that that's what you should do with everything. But with everything in this world, we know how that works. If I had the ability to grab two of those biggies, I might have grabbed two of them and then threw one of them on the secondary market for sale for whoever couldn't get there, and to also like help support my adventure through this channel. And you know what I mean. So it's so that we know how that works, and that would have very well happened, to be completely honest, because we have to supply the channel somehow, right? I mean, so that's what it is. But when you buy these, just remember that they're not going to go up in value anytime soon. Maybe in another 10 years from now, when they quit making these, they might go up if the package is pristine and all of that good stuff. But let's take a look at them. These are really cool. Now, if I'm going to get greeting cards for anybody, I'm going to be honest, this is probably my new way of getting greeting cards, and I'm sure for all of you Funko fans and collectors, this is going to be your new way of getting greeting cards as well. I really like how the packaging is. I love how they did the clear up front, so if you don't want to take him out, you don't have to take him out. However, I think that I'm going to take these out at some point. Maybe if I go and get another one, I'll take one of them out and keep one of them in the package. I'm not sure yet. I'll figure out how it works. I think that it's really creative. You press the button, the hand to go up, it gives you a little like message there. The one thing that I wish that maybe they would have done different is made this message customizable so that I could write in whatever I'd like right there. So I mean, because it shined like the the bat signal. That's okay, right? But I don't know that that's a really like cool greeting. Or this one right here says You flip him up, it says "You crack me up." I mean, that one's pretty cool, but I think that maybe if they put in some kind of a sticker or some kind of a way that I could customize this, that it would make it just a little bit more attractive. On the side of them, they got where you can put to and from. I mean, so at the end of the day, this was a very clever greeting card. Not a collectible. Throw a comment down below. Tell me what you think about that statement. Look, and if that statement upsets you and you want to throw a nasty gram down there, go ahead. I'm not going to judge you for it. Throw your nasty gram down there. Tell me exactly how you feel. I am going to be honest though. If you start to get like too far into the negativity, I'll just block you. So look, I'm cool with you venting. Just don't try and get like nasty with it. The Indy haul was pretty epic, so I managed to find these guys. I managed to get the GameStop exclusive Powder Toast Man from Ren and Stimpy, which now tells me that I have to go after Ren and Stimpy. They're showing 3 of them on the back of the box. 2 of them on the back of the box. You know that they never show the exclusives or the chase variants. They always show the commons that are coming out, so we know that they're going to be common. So at some point, I am going to try and grab the Ren and Stimpy maybe together so that I have them in my collection. I'm thinking that I think that this will be an epic one to collect, and we know that the Nickelodeon's really big right now into Funko, and they're doing a lot of Nickelodeon stuff, so there's no telling what we're going to see coming out here in the near future. I got to get this guy out of the box though, and you know I haven't been in the studio for 3 or 4 days now, so I don't really know where my opener is at this moment. Let's go find it. Got it. I'm sorry. I appreciate you coming along with me to find it. So I picked up the Powder Toast guy. Did I say that? Yes, Powder Toast Man. I got him. And I also got this iconic scene from Boba Fett where he's sitting on Jabba the Hutt's he's sitting on Jabba the Hutt's throne. This one is really cool. He's number 486 out of the group. They are calling this one a nothing, which is kind of odd. I thought it would have been like TV or something to that effect. I guess not. It says television moment right down here, but it doesn't say anything under the pop logo, and that's what I mean by it didn't say anything. Like on this one it says pop animation, this one just says pop, and then it has television moments over here. I think maybe they should have put like TV under that. To me, those little things is the things that I'm looking for. I really like the fact that they put the windows all the way around him. For us in the box collectors, that really makes a lot of sense when you put those windows all the way around. I think this is one of them that might actually need to come out of the box to appreciate. We're gonna have to get it out of the box and take a closer look at it. But first, let's get a Powder Toast guy here. He's number 1094 out of the group. Just like the rest of the boxes, not a whole lot has changed other than the fact that they have recently started putting Funko in that top corner. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I wanted to point that one out real quick. This is a GameStop exclusive. I don't really know what the value of this one has went up to yet. I would venture to say that it's probably $20 or $25, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Maybe within the next year if they don't make any more of them. We know that here lately Funko has been re-releasing their vaulted stuff and their con stuff, which is just going to bring down the value of it a lot. I mean, so hopefully that stops here soon and that they see the error in their ways and they don't keep pumping them out. This thing's pretty unique. Let's take a closer look at him. Now, I don't know if he's going to stand on his own because of the way he is sitting. They should have put a stand with him, but he does look like he appears to stand on his own all very well. The paint job on him is done pretty good. I can't see anything really to talk about, but we do know that they've been using a lot of stencils lately and that they're making these a bunch of different pieces. Like the head's a different piece, the torso is a different piece, the arms are a different piece, the legs and the bottom half of his body are all a different piece, which is making it just a little easier to paint, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that makes that little bit of difference. That makes it just a little better to paint. Now, on their eyes here lately, I don't know if you've noticed this, it looks like they've been getting off track a little, which tells me that it's automated now versus being done by hand, and the automation is getting off just a little. I'm sure that that's something that they keep a close eye on though, because when I say just a little, I mean just a little. This is the one that I have truly been excited to get open though, and like I said, now I'm going after all of the Ren and Stimpies. I want to get over this Boba Fett on Jabba the Hutt's throne because I think This one is really, really badass. Now, I don't know if it's going to go up in value. I think that this is one of them maybe you collect because you are a serious Star Wars fan, or maybe you're just a serious Boba Fett fan, or maybe you just started watching The Mandalorian and that caught you like into the whole Boba Fett, because we know they kind of like brought Boba Fett through The Mandalorian, right? Because that gives you a whole different kind of backstory. It is really difficult to get out of that box, though. It did not want to come. The top of it feels like it was hanging up a little bit on that background that they put in there. Sometimes that background is cool, but it's one of those things that I think is maybe unnecessary and that they should cut out of an expense. Now, I can't say that to be 100% sure. Maybe they deem it as being a little bit more necessary than I do. This thing is really cool. Let's take a closer look at it. So I really like the idea that they have him on the throne, but this is what I'm going to say. The paint job that was done on him, on the throne itself, is pretty, almost came out with a different word. It is lackluster, to say the least. They did not do a great job on it. They kind of spreaded paint. Almost, it looks like they finger painted it. I mean, and when I say that, it, God's to honest, looks like maybe they did some finger paint. This is one of them that I think that that is what they did. There's a fingerprint back there. I mean, so it looks like they finger painted this white on to give it this old look almost. Did not do a really good job with that, and that seems to be like the going theme when it comes to these and these platforms, and when they put them on these bigger stands, is that the stands themselves don't get the detail and the attention and the care that they truly need. For the price that they are, they should really start doing a little bit more with that. I mean, his gun almost blends in with the stand itself, and I really like that this gun. I think that I'm going to buy this Nerf version of this one coming up and do a full review on that one as well. The paint job on these guys is done really good, though. I mean, just like I said a second ago, you can tell that they're using a lot more stencils than they've ever used before. You can tell that the pieces are off in a bunch of pieces. I hate the fact that his head is turned a little bit, but let me say this to you. You can actually move their heads a little. There's springs that are holding those heads in place, and if you take the time to just kind of bend the spring a little bit one way or the other, it helps in the head placement. You got to be careful, though, because, like, for example, her head is wanting to turn way too far in the other direction. I think that looks a lot better than it was. This is going to be one of my favorite pieces, though. This is one of them that I almost believe that maybe I should take it apart and repaint it, but that starts to become into time, like time versus the ability. I mean, I have the ability, and I don't necessarily have the time. Maybe at some point, if this becomes like a full-time career, maybe I'll start like taking some of these apart and painting them just to give you an idea of what it should look like, or at least what I think that it should look like, right? I have some check this out. So I also picked up some of these guys. These are supposed to be like confetti eggs. I've got to go throw these real quick before we get out of here. So I'm going to go take these upstairs and see how cool these things really are. Hey, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.